Shalom, my brothers and sisters in Yahuwah Elohim, and welcome to our Shabbat Bible study. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We made it. All right, gang, tonight is our last reading in Debarim, which is Deuteronomy. We'll be doing chapters 33 and 34. So, go ahead and grab your Bible, and we will get started this evening on this study. It's not a very long study, but it's very sad because we're going to see Moshe die. Okay, hope everybody had a good week. Now we're ready for Shabbat. What an awesome thing, huh, folks? All right, gang, grab a drink off my coffee and we'll get started. Everybody get comfy and relax, and here we go. All right, gang. Debarim, which is Deuteronomy, chapter 33. And this is the blessing with which Moshe, the man of Elohim, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, Yahuwah came from Sinai and rose from Seir for them. He shone forth from Mount Paran, and came with 10,000 of his set-apart ones at his right hand, a law of fire for them. Indeed, he loves the people. All his set-apart ones are in your hand, and they sat down at your feet, receiving your words, capital W words. Moshe commanded us a Torah, an inheritance of the assembly of Jacob. And he was sovereign in Yeshurun. What is Yeshurun? Well, once again, Yeshurun is Yisrael, us. That is the upright people of Yah. Okay, Yeshurun. Verse 5, we'll start again. And he was a sovereign in Yeshurun when the heads of the people were gathered, the tribes of Israel. Let Reuben live and not die, and let his men be numbered. And this of Judah. And he said, Hear, Yahuwah, the voice of Judah, and bring him to his people. His hand shall fight for him, and you be a help against his enemies. And of Levi he said, Your Tumim and your Urim belong to your loving committed one, whom you tried at Massah, with whom you contended at the waters of Meribah, who said of his father and mother, I have not seen them, and he did not acknowledge his brothers, or know his own children, for they have guarded your word, capital W, and watched over your covenant. They teach your right ruling to Jacob, and your Torah to Yisrael. They put incense before you, and a complete ascending offering on your slaughter place. O Yahuwah, bless his strength, and accept the work of his hands. Smite the loins of those who rise against him, and of those who hate him, that they rise no more. Of Benjamin he said, Let the beloved of Yahuwah dwell in safety by him, shielding him all the day, as he dwells between his shoulders, capital H, his shoulders. And of Joseph he said, Blessed of Yahuwah is his land, with the choicest from the heavens, with the dew, and the deep lying beneath, with the choice fruits of the sun, with the choice yields of the months, with the finest of the ancient mountains, with the choicest of the everlasting hills, with the choicest of the earth, and all that fills it, and the good pleasure of him who dwelt in the bush, when Moshe was speaking to the burning bush. Yahuwah was him that was in the bush. Let's start 16 again. With the choicest of the earth and all that fills it, and the good pleasure of him who dwelt in the bush, let it come on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him who was separate from his brothers. His splendor is like a firstborn bull, and his horns are like the horns of the wild ox. With them he pushes the peoples to the ends of the earth. And they are the 10,000 of Ephraim, and they are the thousands of Manasseh. And of Zebulun he said, Rejoice, O Zebulun, in your going out, and Issachar in your tents. They call peoples to the mountain. There they slaughter slaughterings of righteousness, for they draw from the riches of the seas the treasures hidden in the sand. And of Gad he said, Blessed is he who enlarges Gad. He dwells as a lion, and shall tear off the arm, also the crown. And he chose the best for himself, for there the portion of the inscriber was hidden, and he came with the heads of the people. The righteousness of Yahuwah he did, and his right rulings with Israel. And of Dan he said, Dan is a lion's cub that leaps from Bashan. And of Naphtali he said, O Naphtali, satisfied with pleasure, and filled with the blessing of Yahuwah, possess the west and the south. And of Asher he said, Asher is most blessed of sons. Let him be accepted by his brothers, and dip his foot in oil. Your sandals are iron and bronze, and your strength as your days. O Yeshurun, there's that word again. There is no one like El, riding the heavens to help you, and on the clouds in his excellency. The Elohim of old is a refuge, and beneath are everlasting arms, and he drives out the enemy before you, and says, Destroy. Thus Yisrael dwells in safety, the fountain of Jacob, alone, in a land of grain and new wine. His heavens also drop down dew. Blessed are you, O Yisrael, who is like you, a people saved by Yahuwah, the shield of your help, and he who is the sword of your excellency, and your enemies are subdued for you, and you tread down their high places. Chapter 34. And Moshe went up from the desert plain of Moab to Mount Nebo, to the top of Pisgah, which is opposite Jericho. And Yahuwah showed him all the land of Gilead, as far as Dan, and all Naphtali, and the land of Ephraim and Manasseh, all the land of Yehudah, as far as the western sea, and the Negeb, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, as far as Sisar, and the Negeb, and the plain of the valley of Jericho, the city of palm trees, as far as Sisar. Oh, we just read that. Sorry, gang. Verse 4, And Yahuwah said to him, This is the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, To your seed I give it. I have let you look at it with your eyes, but you do not pass over there. And Moshe, the servant of Yahuwah, died there in the land of Moab, according to the mouth of Yahuwah. And he buried him in the valley in the land of Moab, opposite Beth Peor, and no one knows his burial place to this day. Yahuwah buried Moshe himself. Where else in the Bible have we ever seen where Yahuwah buries one of his servants or his prophets? He buried Moshe himself. Verse 7, and Moshe was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were not dim, nor his freshness gone. And the children of Israel wept for Moshe in the desert plain of Moab 30 days. And the days of weeping and mourning for Moshe were completed. And Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit of wisdom, for Moshe had laid his hands on him. And the children of Israel listened to him, and did as Yahuwah had commanded Moshe. For all the signs and wonders which Yahuwah sent him to do in the land of Mizraim, before Pharaoh, and before all his servants, and in all his land, and for all the strong hand, and all the great, fearsome deeds which Moshe did before the eyes of all Israel. And that's the end of Deuteronomy. Now, before we end this, I want to do 2 flippy flips, okay? The first flippy flip is Psalm 1, okay? So let's flip over to Psalm 1. If I can get my fingers to do what I want them to. Okay. There we go. Alright, if you're in the scriptures, it's page 648. Okay? Alright. Psalm 1. Blessed is the man who shall not walk in the counsel of the wrong, and shall not stand in the path of sinners, and shall not sit in the seat of scoffers, but his delight is in the Torah of Yahuwah, and he meditates in his Torah day and night. For he shall be as a tree planted by the rivers of water, that yield its fruit in its season, and whose leaf does not wither, and whatever he does prospers. The wrong are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind blows away. Therefore the wrong shall not rise in judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahuwah knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the wrong comes to naught. Okay, Psalms 1. And then the next one that I want to read is Malachi chapter 3 and 4. And it's just one page back. It's like, yeah, it's one page back. 646 in the scriptures. Okay, you got it? Chapter 3. See, I am sending my messenger, Yahusha, and he shall prepare the way before me. Then suddenly the master you are seeking comes to his hikal, even the messenger, capital M, of the covenant, in whom you delight. See, he is coming, says Yahuwah of hosts. And who is able to bear the day of his coming? And who is able to stand when he appears? For he is like the fire of a refiner, and like the soap of a launderer. And he shall sit as a refiner, and a cleanser of silver. And he shall cleanse the son of Levi, and refine them as gold and silver. And they shall belong to Yahuwah, bringing you near an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Yehuda and of Jerusalem be pleasant to Yahuwah, as in the days of old, as in former years. And I shall draw near to you for right ruling, And I shall be a swift witness against the practisers of witchcraft, and against adulterers, and against them that swear to falsehood, and against those who oppress the wage earner in his wages, and widows and the fatherless, and those who turn away a sojourner, and do not fear me, says Yahuwah of hosts. For I am Yahuwah, I shall not change. Yahuwah never changes, ever. He always stays the same, no matter if it's the original covenant in the Old Testament or the renewed covenant in the New Testament. Yahuwah never changes. And you, O sons of Yaakov, shall not come to an end. From the days of your fathers you have turned aside from my laws, and did not guard them. Turn back to me, and I shall turn back to you, said Yahuwah of hosts. But you said, in what shall we turn back? Would a man rob Elohim? Yet you are robbing me. But you said, in what have we robbed you? In the tithe and the offering? You have cursed me with a curse, for you are robbing me, this nation, all of it. Bring all the tithes into the storehouse, and let there be food in my house. And please prove me in this, said Yahuwah of hosts, whether I do not open for you the windows of the heavens, and shall pour out for you boundless blessing. And I shall rebuke the devourer for you, so that it does not destroy the fruit of your ground, nor does the vine fail to bear fruit for you in the field, said Yahuwah of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a land of delight, said Yahuwah of hosts. Your words have been strong against me, said Yahuwah, but you have said, what have we spoken against you? You have said, it is worthless to serve Elohim. And what did we gain when we guarded his charge, and when we walked as mourners before Yahuwah of hosts? And now we are calling the proud blessed. Not only are the doers of wrongness built up, but they also try Elohim and escape. Then shall those who fear Yahuwah speak to one another, and Yahuwah listens and hears, and a book of remembrance be written before him, of those who fear Yahuwah, and those who think upon his name. And they shall be mine, said Yahuwah of hosts, on the day that I prepare a treasured possession. And I shall spare them as a man spares his own son who serves him. Then you shall again see the difference between the righteousness and the wrong, between one who serves Elohim and one who does not serve him. Chapter 4. For look, the day shall come, burning like a furnace, and all the proud and every wrongdoer shall be stubble. And the day that shall come shall burn them up, says Yahuwah of hosts, which leaves to them neither root nor branch. But to you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go out and leap for joy like calves from the stall. And you shall trample the wrongdoers, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet on the day that I do this, says Yahuwah of hosts. Remember the Torah of Moshe, my servant, which I commanded him in Horeb for all Yisrael, laws and right rulings. See, I am sending you Eliah, the prophet Elijah, before the coming of the great and awesome day of Yahuwah. And he shall turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, lest I come and strike the earth with utter destruction. That ends our study of the Torah, the Tanakh, the first 5 books of the Bible, written by Moses. This has been a fantastic story. It has been a fantastic study. It is awesome. It's absolutely awesome to read the Torah, to do Torah to the best of our broken abilities, to keep Yahuwah's law. I pray that you all learned a lot from these studies. And anybody who's just joining these studies, please go back to Genesis 1:1. Whether you do it with the videos, or you do it on your own with whatever Bible study, you have set up. Bring your children. Teach your children Torah. They need to know this. This is super important. Well, gang, from this point until we get to the prophets, I'm going to try to keep from doing so many flippy flips. We're just going to read straight through. Unless if I see something that's super duper duper important, I'm going to try to keep from doing any flippy flips. We'll start in Yehoshua, Wednesday for our midweek Bible study. And we're just going to read it straight through. Unless if I see something that's really super important, and then I'll point it out to you and give you a reference, okay? I know it drives everybody nuts that I do the flippy flips, but it really helps. It helps to have those references and to write them in your Bible, so that way you can show people when they question, oh, well, we don't have to do that anymore. You can show them that, oh yeah, it says that we do it forever. Forever. Okay, gang, that's all I've got for you tonight. I pray that you all have an awesome Shabbat. Enjoy it. Pray. Read Yah's Word. Be in the Word. Teach your children. They need to know this. And now, we have everybody who's followed this study all the way through has now graduated from elementary school. You know the basics. You have it all before you. Have read it, seen it, and heard it. So now, if you have any questions, just go back and read it. Whatever it is that you have a question about, whether it be something in Leviticus that has to do with the food laws, or whether it has to do with the high holy days or the set apart days, or no matter what, now you know, and you can go back and research it for yourself. Happy graduation. You all have read Torah. Now, on to middle school, getting ready to head into the rest of the Bible. And we'll start that on Wednesday. Okay, gang? All right. Yah bless each and every one of you that is seeking knowledge and wisdom. And enjoy your Shabbat. Shalom.